Hi, I'm Pat Schoknecht, the CIO at Rollins College. You are likely watching this video because you're considering creating a course that will be shared across several schools within the Associated Colleges of the South. My guess is that your first worry has to do with the technology you will use to deliver the course. I'm here to tell you that, quite honestly, that's the last thing we want you to worry about. The IT departments in each ACS school have the technologies and the expertise to help you be successful. Your IT department will have a number of questions for you so that they can provide you with the appropriate tools and support. I'm going to review a few of those in this video to give you a head start in your thought process. There will be materials you wish to share with your students. These could be readings, copies of your PowerPoint slides, graded assignments, a host of things. For your on-campus courses, you deliver these materials using your learning management system, such as Blackboard, Canvas, or Moodle. Use exactly the same system for a shared course. Simply ask your IT department to create local accounts for your distant students. These various systems all work very similarly, so even if some of your distant students have never used your LMS, they will likely catch on quickly. However, put this on a list of items to share with the IT department at each school so they can be ready to help students navigate the new LMS. Please do not use any of the public sharing sites, such as Dropbox or Google Drive, to share course materials. These sites are unstructured, so students have a more difficult time finding the materials they need within your drive. In addition, FERPA requires that we protect student work and grades, so using a college-administered site handles all of the legal issues. You will likely conduct the course using synchronous video conferencing technology. This will allow you to meet with your students together, and you should be able to accomplish most of your in-class information delivery this way. But what else happens in class? Think about how students will ask questions during class. Do you want them to wave an arm so everyone can see? Will you pause often, giving them time to jump in? Would you prefer they type their questions into a chat box so you can decide when it is a good time to stop to address them? How about student in-class discussions? Will you have them discuss with the others at their location and then report back to the full class? Will you want them to be able to have cross-location discussions? This is quite possible, and your IT department can help get that set up. Once it is set up, students could do this after class as well. So if you wanted them to work on group projects in cross-location teams, they would be set to do that. How will you hold office hours for the distant students? A telephone call certainly works, but you should also consider taking advantage of the video conferencing system so you can see a student's face to gauge how well they understand a concept. The use of video conferencing brings up the whole idea of where students physically are during class. In reality, they could enter the video conference and attend class from literally anywhere in the world. Would this work for how you teach your class, or do the students need to be in the classroom together as a group at each site? What if they're going to miss class for an athletic competition or a job interview? Would you allow them to attend from that location so they wouldn't miss class? Do you want the class sessions recorded so that a student could view them if they did miss a class? If you record the sessions, would you make these sessions available to anyone in the class at any time? You also need to be thinking about what other support each partner school may need to provide to ensure the success of your and their students. Will you need a proctor at each location when you give an exam? Is it important for you to be available when your students are taking the exam, or could they go to a testing center? Is writing a large component of your course? Do you encourage your students to use the writing center? Alerting the writing center at each partner school will make the process much easier for your students. Will your students be using library materials, and are you sure that every school has the needed materials available? Your local librarian would be happy to collaborate with their ACS colleagues to ensure all of the needed materials will be accessible. You should also have a help desk technician at each partner school who is familiar with the LMS and video conferencing tools you are using in your class and will be able to help troubleshoot any problems that may arise for your students. You can start practicing with the video conferencing system that you will be using right at your desk. Become familiar with how you switch between different presentation modes, talking head, showing your screen, and showing a student's screen. If you're going to use a chat tool, understand how that will appear. The IT departments at each school will want to run tests to be sure that they can reliably connect to one another right in the actual classrooms. You want to use these tests as opportunities to become familiar with how the distant locations look and what it feels like to interact with people at those locations. I cannot stress enough to pay attention to sound. Make sure that you are heard at all locations, regardless of where you were standing in the room. Make sure that all of the distant locations can be heard, by you and by the people at the other distant locations. Extra microphones can be added, but IT needs to know that they're required. Remember that this is a new experience for you and likely new for your students as well. Every class session will get easier and more comfortable. Our experience has been that any problems you may encounter are more than compensated by the benefits of bringing together students from different campuses. Finally, know that you're not alone. There are teams at each campus who are committed to ensuring that your class goes well. Ask them for help. Good luck!